So as far as this whole Cool Kick story, this situation, it seems like things are just getting kind of worse by the day, which to catch everybody up to speed, last Thursday, the Cool Kick's owner, he was actually booked by the Bunko Forgery Division of LA on felony charges. Now, of course, this story, it made waves through the entire sneaker media space, eventually garnering mainstream attention, which just kind of shows you how popular the LA-based resale location happens to be. Now, as far as this latest update, we got one of the employees chiming in, which this kid, he's talking about like they hear what everybody's saying, they hear all the chatter, and just to kind of wait, the truth will come out, but he really can't say too much and just refers to the statement which Cool Kicks issued previously, which what I got to say about this update is like, how old is this kid right here? Like if Cool Kicks got children involved in this situation, like that's just taking nasty to a whole nother level. So like, how old is this jit right here? Like 16 or something like that. Now, as far as the statement which Cool Kicks issued, we already covered this previously, which it says yesterday the LAPD impounded a small amount of Nike sneakers that Cool Kicks purchased and received within the last 48 hours, alleging that the merchandise was stolen. The news came as a complete shock to our entire team. So apparently Cool Kicks is saying, they bought some pairs which turned out to be stolen. They had no clue. It's just a small little allotment, really nothing to be too worried about. And eventually things will come to light and everything like that, which kind of disputes the narrative which everybody was running with. Everybody was saying allegedly that Cool Kicks was out here selling fakes and all that, which I feel like that's kind of like the more fun, exciting narrative to run with, which everybody just kind of goes with, the cool story or whatever, which, when you talk about Cool Kicks, I could see them possibly getting caught up with a couple of fakes here and there, dealing with all the massive amount of, product that they deal with. But as far as them like blatantly selling fakes, on a major level, that's not the case here. It looks like they were caught up, with some stolen goods. Now, the LAPD, they've been very quiet about this entire matter, since Thursday's arrest. But in response, it looks like they have actually issued an official statement, speaking about the arrest right here, where they're talking about the Los Angeles Police Department's Commercial Crimes Division Cargo Theft Unit in collaboration with the Union Pacific Railroad Police, Los Angeles Port Police, Los Angeles World Airport Police, and the Los Angeles County District's Attorney Office Bureau of Investigation served a search warrant. Bruh, that's a whole lot of collaborations between law enforcement agencies. A lot of taxpayer dollars involved right here. So they're saying during the operation, detectives recovered an estimated $500,000 worth of stolen train cargo. Remember that, stolen train cargo, including unreleased Nike shoes and clothing. The suspect, Adil Shams, 34, of Los Angeles, was arrested at the scene. Shams owns Cool Kicks, a popular online store specializing in the reselling of limited edition sneakers and apparel. Detectives discovered over 2,100 pairs of stolen Nike shoes and 150 cartons of various Nike clothing inside the business, which this is crazy right here. And at the bottom it says the investigation is ongoing and further arrests are expected, right? So remember that they said stolen train cargo. Now, if that doesn't ring a bell, earlier this year there was this major report which popped out talking about inside the Mojave Desert train heist targeting Nike sneakers. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, right? So it says a string of at least 10 heists targeting BNSF trains in California and Arizona since last March have resulted in theft of about $2 million worth of Nike sneakers. $2 million worth of Nike sneakers stolen off cargo freight trains. Yeah, that's crazy. And as far as what investigators have learned, they're saying that the stolen merchandise is usually transported to California to be sold or offered for sale online via third-party Amazon and eBay sellers. Now, both Amazon and eBay said in statements that they have zero tolerance for criminal activity on their platforms, and they work with law enforcement to support prosecutions against people who sell stolen goods. So this is wild, right? Apparently, California is a big seller, for a lot of these stolen goods. Cool Kicks is located in LA. Like, I'm just saying, right? Allegedly. Now, here's an image actually captured by the LAPD of some of the stolen goods. So we got some Air Max 95s, a big seller for Nike this year, as well as these Cave Stone 4s, right? Bulk shipment right here. You guys see full size runs, all allegedly stolen are cargo freight trains, which Cool Kicks was looking to purchase right here. Now, I do want to also revisit a tweet which actually popped up, months ago, where we had a well-known reseller talking about if you touch bulk on this shoe early, you're probably on a list, which he was again referring to these Cave Stone 4s, right? kind of crazy, right? So they're talking about you were on a list. Cool Kicks out here buying Cavestone 4s. Like, what's really happening right here? So as far as this whole Cool Kick situation, remember, they are innocent until proven guilty. But as far as what's happening right here, things aren't looking too great. Now, when you talk about their owner, Adil Shams, right? This guy, you know, he was arrested. This situation's not over with yet. Of course, they're lawyered up. But can y'all imagine, you know, a situation where like maybe like Adil, he wants to keep the business running, keep everything going smooth, and maybe he gives up, you know, the people, maybe he's gonna be out here snitching. We'll have to kind of wait and see how things go, because if you were in his situation, like, what would you do, right? Would you snitch on the person where you got the stolen goods from? Or would you just kind of like keep things pushing? Then again, we don't know if it was a sting operation. Maybe the LAPD kind of set this whole thing up to kind of get him caught up in this whole situation. Maybe it was a case of entrapment. We'll have to see how things play out. But as far as right now, this is a case which a lot of people seem to be concerned about. Remember, at first people thought they were caught up in selling fakes, but turns out they actually got caught up in the sale of some stolen goods, which I feel like this is actually going to open up a whole new can of worms. Because remember, in the LAPD statement, what they said right here at the bottom, the investigation is ongoing and further arrests are expected, which I think this may actually uncover, you know, a lot of what we've been talking about here with these early pairs allegedly being stolen. Because right now you've got these lists of bulk sneaker deals which are going through these kind of like resale chains, through these Discord groups where they're offering up a whole bunch of Nike products, you know what I'm saying, for under retail prices if you buy them in bulk. And I don't think it's like retail like chains or anything like Foot Locker, you know, JD Sports or anything involved in this type of stuff. I feel like this is all probably stolen goods. So I think a lot of stuff is going to come to the light right here. And remember, this is all just like local investigations. The fact that this stuff is involving stolen goods that are crossing state lines means that the federal government could get involved. And if you have massive sneaker resale chains which are selling stolen product through bulk deals, through buyers all across the country, it's only a matter of time before the feds get involved if they're not already involved in this whole situation. So let me know what you guys think about what's happening right here. How do you feel like things are gonna play out for Cool Kicks? Have you ever done business with the popular sneaker resale location? And remember the statement that the LAPD put out talking about the investigation is ongoing and we can't expect further arrests, you know, possibly pop out. So as far as this situation, if you're tired of hearing about it, unfortunately, we're probably going to have a whole lot more developments on this situation. So JATV, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys enjoy the content, you know, consider subscribing. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Come along for the journey. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch y'all next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out. Love.